We're here on Capitol Hill. We're seeing faith groups as well as civil rights groups continue to echo the calls for Congress to pass federal reform legislation to counter a wave of Republican-backed bills we continue to see passed, limiting access to the ballot box. Now, we're here with Bun B, who is the new executive committee member of the Houston chapter of the NAACP. So how are you using your platform to bring attention to this issue that we're seeing, especially in the state of Texas?
So the president of the Houston chapter of the NAACP, the Honorable Bishop James Dixon, has created Push Democracy Forward, which is our effort to support everyone who's already fighting against these terrible voter restriction laws. We are here in support of H.R. 1. We're here in support of the John Lewis Act, of course, as well as for the people, the voting right. And I guess the march is continuing now. We're standing here at Capitol Hall steps. We came to stand in solidarity with Representative Cori Bush, who has been protesting the fact that the moratorium for mortgages ends today, I think. And so, but then there's billions of dollars that are allocated to help people, pay their mortgages and not necessarily be evicted. But that money hasn't been released. And of course, this is all, everything at this point is so bipartisan. Well, they're making these things bipartisan, but everyone, benefits from these laws. Everyone needs to be able to be heard. Everyone needs to be able to exercise their freedom of speech. And a big part of freedom of speech is the right to vote. And so we want to make sure that everyone in this country has that right, is able to vote, able to be heard, and exercise their rights.
Mm-hmm. And how are you standing in solidarity with these Texas Democrats? They're here in Washington. What would you like to see on the state level in Texas?
Well, first, I would like for the governor to allow these people to come back to Texas. Take away this order of having them arrested on site. Let them come back, let them go on the floor, let them be heard, and let them, have the ability to not have to sign on to the law that, frankly, they believe is immoral and potentially illegal.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tashani, as I mentioned, we're here on Capitol Hill. We're going to continue to march with this group here in Washington, D.C. We're at the Supreme Court at the steps of that building where we actually saw Representative Green arrested. He becomes the fourth member of the CBC arrested over the last month as they continue to demonstrate against a wave of voting bills that we see on the state level in Republican-backed states. And they continue to call for Congress to pass the For the People Act, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, as well as abolish the filibuster.